Hey, you.
Hey, how's it going?
How are you? I'm good, Brad. How you doing?
Really good.
Good stuff. Nice to see you. How's things in Sylvan Lake, Alberta?
Oh, good, good, good.
No
Lots
stuff.
of snow, but it's been warm, so it hasn't been terrible.
You've got some snow there, have you?
Oh, yeah.
We had a little bit of a dusting there a week ago or so, and
Yeah,
absolutely, it's all gone now.
nice.
So they were calling for some here today, but and going in tomorrow, but I think it's not going to happen. So
Right?
everybody panicked and got their snow tires on and the whole nine yards. So it's one of those things where um, people get all panicky and no snow comes.
Yeah.
All the people selling snow tires are happy to do it. So yeah, it was us. So anyways, we'll just give it a few minutes because I'm just a little bit early getting on here according to my time. I have just at 8:30 now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so all good. Everybody safe and sound and your family out there?
Yes, everybody's been good so far.
Yeah, and are the kids playing hockey or right now? Are they?
No, we got shut down last week, I think it was.
Oh, did you again?
All our sports got shut down, and so yeah, we're just doing what we can now again.
Yeah, so it's so tough. I know even the UK is in a bit of a lockdown right now as well, and
Yeah.
frustrating. But no, I'm excited for this call, and such great results. And it seems like it was only yesterday that we had our 2020 Team Vaccination or Vox Life Team Builder Summit, and what a great event that was. And I'm excited. I mean, you were a speaker at this event, and have been in it for just about 4 years now, right, Bryn?
Yeah. Yeah. February will be my 4 year mark.
Yeah, great. Well, what I'm going to do without further delay is I'm going to do the introduction, and I'm going to welcome everybody to our call. I'm so excited about our Team Vaccination call. And my dear friend, Brenna Bover, and a lot of you people may know here, hails from Sylvan Lake, Alberta. That's where she's calling from right now. She's a mom, she's a wife, she's an entrepreneur, and she is an absolute fire plug. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story about Brenna before we get rolling here. She may know the story I'm going to tell here. I think she probably does. But we were at an event, Eric Worre GoPro event in Las Vegas. Kevin Duguay was there, Kathy Gage, some of our leaders. And I had the pleasure of meeting Brenna for the first time at the particular hotel. I think it was in the lobby of the Westgate in Las Vegas. And so we got to know each other. We were all going there. We're new into Vox Life. We're all trying to train. We're all learning. And after a day or so, Brenda says to me, "Hey, listen, if I do an event, do you think you could get Jay to come out to Red Deer, Alberta?" And I said, not knowing Bryn very well, I said, "Yeah, I think I could convince Jay to come out, provided you could get 200 in a room." And she looked at me dead serious and went, "I can freaking do that in my sleep." I went, "Whoa, okay, awesome." So long story short, she got at it, took the bull by the horns, and I think we finished off at 304 people in an event in Red Deer in 2017. And in fact, I recall that was the first time I ever seen Jay shed a tear of emotion for the results that somebody gave as a testimony on the stage at your event there. And I know you had a team of helpers and so on, and some great teammates out on the West Coast, in Alberta and so on. So Brenna is an absolute gem of a person. She is a tremendous leader, and she's a no bull, get it done, let's go, roll up your sleeves, let's get the job done, and let's do what we have to do to get this tech on everybody in the world. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to introduce tonight's Team Vaccination trainer from Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Brenna Bover. Welcome, Brenna.
Thank you, Terry. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I am a get her done girl. Everyone's gonna laugh at my slide because that is not my forte, but I just made a slide because I know like people like visuals and you can kind of screenshot things and different things. And so I can share my screen, right, Terry?
Yep, should be able
Tonight?
to.
Okay.
Let me see. Go ahead and try and share it, Bren.
Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome. Just gonna pop it up here. So, oh, just 1 minute. Back to the beginning. So, that was a great start to this, and kind of gets me thinking about when I started. I see so many people, and I said in my speech there, don't wait for perfection, because I remember when I began, we didn't even really have a back office. We didn't have pamphlets. We didn't have any of that. We literally had to print off these little Excel sheets and fax or email them in. We didn't have any information much even on Vox Life and our product, just the basic science stuff and a little of that. We didn't have it. We couldn't really use our websites. We had them, but we couldn't use them because there was some US stuff going on and different things. It wasn't really set up for us Canadians. So I just want everyone here to realize about perfection. And it reminds me of the story with Jay saying he sold $500,000 of insoles out of the back of his car when he started. And that's what it is. It's just getting this on people, getting it on people and sharing it. You don't have to be perfect. If you understand the tech and you learn that, that's all you need. You're golden. You don't need all the frilly dilly stuff. You do not. By all means, that has helped us a lot. And it helps us when we give our products look more professional and stuff. But I'm serious, just get out there and share this and use your power of why. And that's your story. That is so powerful, and kind of how I began. It changed my friend's life. And that's why I just jumped into it with both feet. I could not believe what happened. And this business landed in my lap. And it's just been an incredible journey. And those stories are what is driving the motivation behind me all the time, is those things. But tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about money, because that to me is a big driver for people too. And and I just want everyone, that success I see in people too, fires me up just as much as helping people with their pain and ailments and different things that we help people with. So I just put these couple little quotes up here on my starting page just because they really stood out to me. And Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain something simply enough, you don't something simply, you don't do it. I wrote this quote wrong. If you can't explain something simply, you don't do it well enough. So anyways, just learn the tech, just watch the videos and learn them and learn them and learn them. And throughout my presentation tonight, you'll see how you're going to help your teammates learn this as you go, and all the visuals and different things. And sorry, these videos are covering my little quote here again too. So I am what I think I am, and I am not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. Our identity is wrapped up in what others think of us. So this is powerful to me, because when I'm working with people, this is just in so many people and their belief in themselves and this business. And so I really want you to really think about that quote. It's just something that keeps us all so stuck in our belief in ourselves. And I want you to just erase that stuff people say, let alone what they say about you or have said about this business and about MLMs. Kick that out the door, because this is what holds us back from sharing and talking about the business. It really does. Oh, another MLMer. But guess what? Our company is not like that. And this is what I love about Vox Life. So I just wanted to touch on that off the start, just because I see this in so many of my members that I work with. It's just their belief. And and as I work with them, all that stuff gets erased and they're just pumped and fired and ready. So being a servant leader. So I just have little bullet points just because I didn't want to forget stuff. So we need to train our new members. I am a hands-on type leader. I jump in with 2 feet. I get them doing things. I hold them accountable to me as well as to them. When I see so many people sign people up and just throw them to the wolves, and they have no idea what they're doing. And I always go back to the cash register thing. We can't go work at a gas station and nobody tells us what buttons to push. So a lot of people seeing their teams not doing anything, well, they don't know what to do. They don't know what they don't know. So it is, I sign them on, I talked them into the business, I convinced them to come do this. So it's my commitment to them to help them make money. Nobody quits when we help them get customers and stock and souls lined up for them and get them new associates. That's my commitment to them. That's my job. And that's what's going to keep the momentum going in them. And so I really, really work on doing that kind of stuff and just showing them the way. We don't, like I said at the start, we do not need much to do the business. Keep it simple and just work on what's going to move the needle forward for them. Your team works as fast as you do, as well as mirrors what you do. So we always have to just do a self-check. What are you doing and if you expect them to be doing all this stuff and you're not, then they're not going to be doing it. So did you know, like, most are scared of this and have no idea what to do. So we've got to just help them. This will pay off huge for you as well as them. You get them what they want, you'll get what you want out of this. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And that's a big quote I like people to keep in their head too. So that's another self-commitment to yourself. And just personal development. As a leader, we have to keep being better and better with ourselves on all aspects. And like I said in my speech, first step, get to know network marketing, just learn the business, read some books. I remember at that GoPro event, I gifted Terry the book, The 4-Year Career. And that book by Richard Blissbrook, it explains network marketing immensely. And that thing, John Maxwell's another good leadership coach. He is just hands down one of my favorite people to make you a better individual and to work with your people. Because in this business, we are nobody's boss. We are just here to build people and build them as a business. So
I want to make a point on that gift that you gifted me. That was really a mindset shift for me as a network marketer. Because understanding that it's not an overnight success, an overnight success very, very, very rarely happen. And Richard Blissbrook does an amazing job of taking you out and exposing to you that this is something that, you know, if you're really willing to do the work and understand it and learn network marketing, it's approximately 4 years before you can start to see any appreciable amount of money, but it takes a lot of hard work. And for me, that gift, I'll never forget that gift, because and you know, I do the same now with that book as well, because it's duplication again. But really, for me, it really taught me the profession of network marketing. And you know, I wanted to learn the profession of network marketing because obviously the technology is just the tool. It's just the vehicle that we ride in this particular company. But learning the principles and the what tos and wherefores and so on in network marketing really happened in that book called The 4-Year Career by Richard Blissbrook. So again, that was a TSN turning point for me, and thank you for that. That's something I'll never forget. Great book. If you get a chance, anybody that's on this call, if you get a chance to read that book, to learn about the profession of network marketing, it will lay it out to you and give you the realities of this business and not all the pipe dreams that people may have told you about this profession. So great book. So thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah. It is really a good book and just helps you understand it all, breaks it all down. So I just, why does it? Okay. Was this? Yeah. So I laid this page out because this is what is happening in their heads, and new people we sign up or people we're talking to, and this is what's screaming at them. And so Like that book with Richard Bliss Brooke, this isn't a get rich quick scheme. So I like to set people up with the reality of this business. And when I'm doing my first training with them, it's not easy. Like I didn't get here just sitting around posting little posts on social media. So I just, it's better than, it's prevention is better than crisis recovery mode. So this is what's going through their heads and new associates, and they're scared. No one wants to talk to me. My family tells me no, and then I do not want to continue. So like even this one's my favorite, number 2. And when I'm doing my first, which I'm going to go ahead and tell you in a bit here with my associate, I tell them right away, your friends and family are going to tell you to pack sand on your crazy socks. You are nuts. Or what I see a lot of this too, and this is a problem I see a lot, they're excited, they're going to tell their mom or their sister, and they drop like a funny sales pitch to them, and then they get shot down and think you're just a crazy, oh great, my sister got into this MLM business, now she's crazy, right? And don't drop the sales pitch. Be you, be real, be authentic. Just tell them, hey sis, like however you would talk to them, talk real. I see this so many times, and it hits when you're a brand new associate, that's your first like wham, oh, I just got shot down. And I always tell people, do not let this ruin your business, because your friends and family are going to be your worst supporters until they see that you're set in this. This is something real. You've been doing it consistently for a while, and they might start listening to you about it. So, but these are things. My friends won't believe me. Everyone I know does not know how to work and despises MLM. My spouse and friends tell me to quit. People hang up on me on the phone. It takes up too much time. They think this is too expensive. How much money will it cost me to join? So we have to think about all these things that is really truly in people's heads. And we do it too. We're guilty of it. Just think about it when someone's dropping us with something, right? So this as a leader is, and as I go through this, you're going to see how you're going to get confidence in them and erase all this from them as being a leader and helping them, and how I help my teams hands on. So the first thing I do is when someone signs up, they do their order or whatever it is, I go through the new associate handbook, but I don't just send it in an email and say, hey, go through this when you got time. Guess what happens? Nobody looks at that. Nobody does. And they don't. Sometimes they don't even know where to find it, right? So what I do with my people is, like I said, I'm a very hands-on, I'm a visual too. So I do this with my associates. I don't care what level they are on. I go through this. And something I want to touch on is, if you haven't done this, it's okay to go back and say, hey, even if they're 2 or 3 years old, because I had to do that after a while, especially when we started almost 4 years ago, and we had nothing. Now we have lots of cool things. So it's okay to go back to the drawing board and show them and do different things. And why I love going through this associate handbook with them is there's so many pages of different things I can talk about. We get to know each other, we build rapport, we get to learn how they like to do business. We get a feel of them in lots of different things. So I go on Zoom and I screen share and I go through the new associate handbook with them, in person or over the phone. If you're not completely Zoom, over the phone too. But when I do Zooms, I also teach them how easy it is to use too. So this is another thing I can show them and how simple it is. It shows them the business and all the little things we need to do the business. And it's quite simple and it's very duplicatable and it's there for everybody. You go and I go through the comp plan with them and show them how they get paid as well on goals to work towards and give them direction. I see so many people in this business, they've never been shown the comp plan. They're doing this and they have no idea how to get paid. If you don't know how to get paid, they have no direction on what they're working on in the business. They're just out sharing and sharing and sharing and just spinning in circles. They don't even know. So this gives me the chance to do that. And even though you don't consistently maybe properly follow that, but it gives them a guideline of what it is and how to rank up and how to do different things and how they're actually getting paid, on the passive income side of it, right? And then I screen share as well, and I navigate through the Facebook pages and why they're on there and what they do. And I show them what's in there and how to find things like the units tab, the different things and all the call recordings. And I just quickly scroll through it and I show them and they're like, wow. And then when they come up with these questions and inbox me, hey, Brenna, what's this? I can say, hey, units tab on Team Vaccination, or hey, it's under here. And then they remember where to go and how to do things, right? And I do this when they're new. I also do their new signups with them on 3-way Zooms. And then they're watching the consistency, and we're doing it over and over until they learn and until they're on their own going out and doing this kind of thing, right? And I call it the 1, 2, 3 system because there's so much information overload at first. They're not going to learn it all at once. So if you just keep doing the do with them and their new associates, they start consistently learning, and then they become self-sufficient. And that's what our main goal is to get them being able to do things. I make them, and there's lots of pages in there in the new associate handbook, like the training and corporate calls. Right now, I get them to slot it in their calendars, and I tell them why. This is every Monday and Thursday, and the day before, I get a notification, bang, team training calls. That is my business time. That is my hour of my business commitment time to myself. And I get them really geared into those, and I tap them into those calls. You want them on them. They're learning so much, and this keeps us going every week. There's nuggets every week. We got to stay up with all the corporate calls and all the new things coming and all the sales and different things like that. It helps me talk to them and hear what they want, and I can let them know if they're willing to do the work. I will show them, as well as we're responsible to them as they are to themselves. And then I get to have a good, serious business talk with them. And it's okay to be a little cold and blunt with them. And this is what I expect of you. I'll do this for you if you did this for me, right? And we can work together, and it works really well. I also go through their back office and show them briefly where everything is. I show them the resources tab. Like, that is a huge tab in a lot of places where they can find things and do things to build their business, and the little tools. And just talk to them about watching a couple or 2 videos a day, or just kind of just playing around in there. I tell them, you can't screw up anything in your back office. Click on whatever you want. Go do this, go do that. And I really show them a visual. And like I said, if they're not on Zoom, you can just go through it and guide them on the phone. If they're not on Zoom, or you're not a Zoom user, builds rapport with them. And like I said, it gets you to know them, gets them to know, and you can hear what they want throughout the different things, because everyone's joined this for different reasons. And I'm going to tell you something about this new associate handbook. Even if sometimes we have people that are like, I'm not doing the business crazily, leave me alone, I'm not. I still tell them, even if you're signing up and they're just a wholesale and want to share with friends and family, and they make that very clear, I still make them go through this new associate handbook. And I'll tell you why. Number one, because it helps them be compliant if they are sharing, helps them, gives them a little bit. And I just tell them, I have to go through this with you. And the business might not be right at that time, but I'm telling you, when they start sharing and they get these stories back at them, I've seen so many people where they just land into this, okay, I want to do this business. So you've already dropped the business part in their heads. And at that time might not be right, but they remember this whole associate handbook and how they can get paid. And one day down the road, they're like, ka-ching, oh my gosh, all these people are asking me and telling me about all their problems with their legs or their feet, and they start seeing all these people, and bam, they're ready to do the business, and they reach out and they say, okay, I want to do this more. So it drops little seeds as well. So I make sure everybody goes through this, whether they're in this full bore or if they're just in this to share. And I hold them accountable to this. And I believe it also drives backing our product well and in a professional manner, which I really try to protect with this phenomenal product we have. And I believe it follows with Jay's integrity too in our company. The new associate checklist, this is in our units tab in Team Vaccination. I make every single person who signs up to me, or if it's someone in my lower levels that are just joining and they don't have really any upline help, I make them fill this out and I tell them, you don't have to fill this out right in front of your face, but I give them a date I want it back by, and I make them fill it out. This new associate checklist is so powerful. It tells you why they joined the business. And you can have that and always go back and remind them to their why, when they're feeling defeated or when they're under that lull of the thing. As we all know, we go down that rabbit hole in this business where we just want to just give up, or we've fallen off the wagon for a bit. And I know a lot of us did during COVID. It was getting tough, and that team event just ripped us right up again. So this gears you to how you're going to work with them. Some people want to make $5,000 a month. Some people want to make 50, some make 1 or 200. It helps you gear and guide them of how you're going to work with them. And I book a time frame to go through it with them. Again, I get on Zoom and I go through it with them, and I give them actual skills and different things to lay out, whether it's how many sock and sole events they have to do, or how many socks they have to sell to get this much money, and I lay out a little game plan for them, and they have a vision and a goal to do. And then I get them committed to that, right? And it helps us see what they want, and we can get them what they want. And this is also what I do with them. That one is very, very powerful. And I know Terry uses this a lot too, but how do we work with someone if we don't know what they want, and right, and how to? So book them a launch party. And this 1, 2, 3, I do this 1, 2, 3 with all of my business stuff, new associates, whether they're doing a launch party or just new associates. And this is something I make all my associates do, is I book them a launch party, even those ones that want to share. I mean, I get it. Some people are adamant they'll never touch that with the 10-foot pole. Fine. But this is something, when someone joins me and wants to do the business, this is the first thing I do. And back before COVID, I would make them do a home event. But obviously we've pivoted online now. And so I make them book a launch party. And my 1, 2, 3 system, I did a training this morning in the Mock Online Sock and Sole, kind of how I gear launch parties of the 1, 2, 3 system. So if you want to go watch a full blow training of it, I did it with Carla this morning in that Mock Online Sock and Sole page this morning. You can go have a look. But so the first one I do for them, I set them up their group and I run their 7-day sock and sole party. It helps build their confidence. They don't know what they don't know. So this is another, the cash register thing, how to push the buttons. I teach them how to do one. My commitment is to teach them the way and show them the way. So I do this. This will duplicate through your organization as well. When you start doing this, they're going to start doing this for their members. And it just starts flowing through everybody. Get them and doing this gets them when they're excited. When people first have a story and they've had such phenomenal results, get them when they're pumped. So this is the first thing I do. And they're like, okay, let's do this. The momentum is there. And then you keep that momentum in them going, and that excitement, and get them making money. This is my commitment. Like I said, you've got to get your associates making money fast and furious. We signed them on for this reason. We talked them into it. They're looking for an income, a side gig, part-time, full-time, whatever it is. And this is an income producing activity. Doing sock and soles are income producing activities. So I do this for my teams a lot. It drives volumes for your entire team. When you have a lot of members doing these and keep going, it's driving volumes through them all. My goal is to get them growing and make income, whether that be a new associate or another sock and sole clinic. So when I'm doing these sock and sole clinics, my goal and my intent for them is to get them new associates, get them a new party booked out of it, get them something out of it. And this is my goal for them, to keep the momentum flowing. And when they're shy and quiet and don't really know how to do that, that's my commitment to them. And then the second party, I make them do part of it, and I show them how, and I do part, and I help them and I guide them still, because they're still little. And the third one, I make them do on their own, and I'm just in the background kind of helping and watching as they go and answering questions or different things like that. Obviously, each personality is a little different. You got to hold their hand a little longer, and that's okay. And you'll learn that as you go through this and gear it. Some people are just ready to rock and roll and can do stuff themselves, and some need a little bit of hand holding a little longer. But when you set them up with that confidence and how to do it, and I know I even had a seasoned associate that I've had for a couple of years on my team, but the online stuff was just she was stuck and at a halt, and COVID has really halted all of us. I did this for her, and she's like, wow, the more you do these, the easier they get. And she's just flowing them now. And she made huge sales out of them, and it's got her back up and going and just back into this. So it's really great for that stuff too. And different things like that. And this I added just to the end because I just want everyone to audit their life. And I know we all need self checks, and I'm a blunt no go, no excuses girl. Like Terry said, I have 3 kids, I have a husband, I'm on boards in this town, I volunteer a lot, I do lots of different things, and I make time for my business. And I'm so grateful for this every day. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be 7 hours somewhere else. So I do make a commitment, and you have to be honest with yourself. So doing a self audit tells you the values that have crept into your life by default, and will help you look within and where you improve and make time for what you want. The next step is to take a look and decide if your choices are in alignment with what you're doing and why you're in this business. So the next page, I just kind of, no matter what you think your values are, your actions tell the real story. And so I'm an actions girl. We can scroll, we can do whatever we want, all we want through life. It's going to get us nowhere in this business. And I am a real hard worker, and I get people on and I teach them, and I want everyone to grow no matter what type of personality they are. And I remember Angela sharing her story at the success event, how she's a introvert, and you wouldn't catch me doing this, and you wouldn't see the people bloom that are like that, because I've just built them confidence and helped them do this. So time, I did the time one because everybody does this excuse or would rather do different things. So this is my challenge to everyone on this call tonight. Let's assess how we spend our time. Spend this week tracking your time and how much you put into your family, friends, faith, whatever that may be. Could be the universe, could be different things, your different things. So don't just necessarily take this as a godly thing, but everybody has some type of faith or different things. Work, health, and self, because these are all very important things to balance in our life. And so now have a look and see if the amount of time you're putting into your business, look at all my spelling errors in here, this is awesome, is serving you in moving the needle forward. Are your earnings from your job ultimately serving you? What are we doing for income producing activities? What are we doing to serve our teams? And what is our time wasted on? Are we reading, scrolling through Facebook, worrying about being perfect, watching TV, procrastinating? This is a huge, huge self-accountability. And everybody says, I don't have time. And that excuse to me is, there is no way, because I know everybody, I get it. We all lead busy lives, but we all have time. And you get whatever time you put into your business. And so you have to really have a look at that and what it is you're looking at. And if you your values are in alignment with that in your time and your business, and what you're doing for your teams, and what you're doing to sell socks yourself. Because I hear so many people complain, but they're really not doing anything productive and actions. And it always goes back to, you don't need all this fancy frilly dilly stuff. You can share lots of different ways. So yeah, that's kind of what I had tonight.
Brett, that was absolutely phenomenal. Such great content, and so much to build on here. And what's really interesting, as we say, sponsoring somebody is just the beginning of success. And I kind of liken it to hiring somebody. If you own a franchise and you hired somebody, would you just say, hey, you start on Monday, and not show them how the coffee makers work, not show them where the punch clock is, not show them where the washroom is, not tell them when their breaks are, not tell them what shifts they work? We're actually just, setting ourselves up for failure. And when you really sponsor somebody, regardless of whether they just want to buy some product wholesale for family and friends, they are like a virtual employee almost.
Yeah.
From the perspective of whatever they do is going to reflect on how well you have trained them or how well you've set them up for success. And if you haven't done a good job at setting up for success, they are going to ultimately fail. So ultimately you fail.
Yep.
So there's a big responsibility after sponsoring
Yep.
to walk people through, to go through the associate handbook. Your training was brilliant tonight. And I think a lot of times we get to the point where we sponsor somebody, and we're all guilty of it, and we sit there and go, oh, I've got such a great person, they're just going to rock it. And you never do anything with them. Consequently, they don't do anything. So you blame it on them when really the fault lies on you.
Yeah, it does.
No different than an employee.
And
you hire an employee and they don't get the proper orientation and training, chances are they're not going to last.
Yeah. And I take that seriously because, and this is okay to say, and people aren't going to tell you this because they don't want to, but people are joining for money, and it's okay to say that, and just lose that, and don't be scared to talk about it, because we don't work this hard to not make money, and that's our fourth pillar. And a lot of people are looking for something else. And when you don't talk about that with people and you don't teach them how, they're just completely disappointed or ticked off, and it's okay to be a bit serious and blunt about things. We can't just always go, oh, that's okay, don't worry, because it's not going to get us anywhere. We have to get that in there and just, you know what I mean? Like our boss, if anybody's ever went and had jobs, our boss was kind of stern with us at first and what we have to do. The fun comes after, of course, but you have to take this on as serious. And this is a business, and you can make some serious money doing this if you work it like a business and you want to get them out of that, or they've lost their job or different things. And you can. I was a business owner, and I'm not going to say it was pretty, but I worked hard for 3 months when I joined Box, hard, and I replaced my income with that, and I do this full time now, and I love it. And I give my time to everybody, and I don't care who they are, where they are. I'm going to grow people, and it helps them the more I do this too, it helps my team members not be scared to talk about the business, and don't be scared to do that.
Yeah. And I think, the key thing is that, you're teaching duplication throughout this process as well, because the way you set somebody up is the way they're going to set somebody up. And that's such a key element. And, if you were in charge of hiring at a company and you never put anybody through orientation after you hired them, or hook them up with somebody in the organization to do the orientation, you're not going to be in that position very long. And I think it's very important that we identify, one of the key points that really resonated with me tonight, Brent, was the fact that regardless of whether they say they're not ready to do the business, they just want to buy some product at the best price to share with family and friends. And you walk them through the associate handbook anyways, because a lot of times what happens is people start this business organically because they have such a great success after wearing the product. All of a sudden, people start asking them, hey, what are you doing? You're not limping anymore, or you look more vibrant, and you look like you're, less stressed or whatever. So people start asking those questions, and all of a sudden they're roped into telling them, and they didn't mean to, you know what I mean? So even that point of saying they may not be ready to do the business per se today, but walking them through, especially step one, as you put it, and then partially into step two with the new associate handbook, I think is a very, very key element, because you want them also to know that if they are ready to do the business, you're ready to help them at any time that they're ready to go. And we need those types of people in our organization just as much as we need business builders. So that was a great point for me.
And you know what else it does is you get to explain the business, and they see that we are not a snaky company. We don't have auto ships. You can touch on all those things. And I'll tell you a little cool story. I had a friend that come to me. She tried my socks out. She was a dear friend of mine, and she had phenomenal results. And she come to me and she wanted like 16 pairs of socks or something. Mom, dad, uncle, and my husband wants me to get for her mom, dad, uncle, and sister. And I'm like, I'm not selling you 17 pairs of socks. Like, you have a gold pack. So I went through the packages with her and I signed her up. And she went off. And you know what? I just knew what was going to happen when these people got these results, because we all know what happens with the backlash of sharing this tech with someone and when they get results. So I'll never forget this. She was sitting right here across my kitchen table and she said to me, she come a week later, and I'm serious, she looked haggard and tired. And she said, what did you do to me? I don't sell shh. And she said, shit. And she goes, and I said, you've been voxed. And do you know she's a managing director now?
Wow.
And because she couldn't stop. And I knew that. And she now is a managing director, and she has since lost her job. So this has, like, what has this done for her? This little side gig and this little, it's phenomenal what it does. And she's out sharing and sharing, and she just loves it. And she's just forever grateful for it now.
Yeah.
And it was an accidental business person, but I knew she was. Everybody that wears it and goes, oh, I want to do this. Like, we all know what happens. It just, you can't stop sharing this. It's just absolutely amazing.
Well,
And we have, the product backs us. It's getting good at the business side now, and we've got to get good at the passive income side of it, because there's a huge passive income to make, and that's what this is about as well, right?
well, I think it's a key point that, you know, we've all had that experience where we're all starters. We all start. We're all good at starting something, but we got to finish. And a lot of times when we start somebody and sponsor them, it's our responsibility to help them finish something, whether it's a sock and sole party, whether it's a sale, whether it's a presentation, help them finish something. It's easy to start them. You got to help them finish so that they have that confidence and they can start to build that posturing that they need at times when they face, you know, those critical people out there that, you know, think we're all about snake oil and so on. And guys, we have so many amazing things happening in this company in the next, you know, 5 to 10 years. This thing is going to go absolutely like a forest fire. And we're the pioneers. We're the people that have to do it right first. It's our responsibility to do it the right way. And so Brenna's done a very eloquent job tonight of teaching us sort of the steps and our responsibilities as a sponsor, regardless of whether somebody's a business builder or whether they just want to be, you know, a wholesale associate to buy product at the best possible price for Christmas gifts or family or whatever. Very, very, very well.
And I just want to touch on time again. You know, if I'm doing 5 or 6 sock consoles a week for my teams or myself, or even one a week, break that down. That's 4 hours a month, one a week, a month. If I do 5 or 6 a week, that's 5 hours a week. If I had a job, I'd be out 7 days a week, or 7 hours a day out at a job. It's no time commitment. We have to really stop and think about really how much it is. And it's really not. It's crazy. It's so quick and easy. And
well, I
it
think
really is simple. And if you keep it simple, don't get down that mundane of having to be perfect. Just sharing and doing that kind of stuff. Like, you can really keep it simple. Like, I remember starting, we had nothing. I was literally sharing socks for a month and a half, and I didn't even know there was a balance test. And I sold over 197 pairs. They were just flying. You know,
one thing I will say about you, Brenna, and I've always believed this and loved this about you, is that when you said you were going to do something way back in Vegas, you did it. You were up to the challenge, you did it, and you exceeded it beyond measure. And when I can remember telling Jay, she's got like 300 tickets sold. And he's like, shut up. I'm like, she does. And this is back in the early days.
I think that was to date the first biggest box event. Now they're bigger, but that was, yeah.
No, it was, and it's not even about the size. It was about the fact that you said you were going to do it. You were up for the challenge and you did it. And that's what I mean about starting and finishing.
Think of challenges when you were a kid. Just things you were scared of. Or how about your first job and the first day going there and you're like, I'm never going to get this.
Yeah.
And each time you do this with people and your associates or yourself, and think of the other side of that and how excited you were and you did it.
Mhm.
Just go back to those memories and those things, and just do it. It's like just sharing the socks. That part's, you've been a seasoned person sharing the socks, how easy is it to open your mouth and tell someone, hey, I can help you with that limp? But
Yeah.
then now doing the passive income side, work on that. Now just challenge yourself to talk about the business more, and it just comes easier and easier. And then you're just like, oh my gosh, and then it starts exploding and it's easy, right?
Yeah, and I think that
Just
one of the key things is we've all been guilty of not doing our best because either we
for
don't
sure.
didn't know, we hadn't invested in ourselves, we hadn't invested in training, we didn't get on calls like this, and so it's easy to point the finger. But how many on here believe that vulnerability and being honest and being vulnerable can help you launch forward? I
Hmm.
mean, we've seen it before where being vulnerable is powerful. And why I'm saying that is, um, if you have a team, I don't care whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever number of people on your team, it's okay to be vulnerable and circle back and say, look, you know what, I didn't do the best job as your sponsor. I didn't do the best job at setting you up for success. I didn't do the best job at maybe understanding exactly what it is that you want, and I'd like another opportunity to do a better job to help you be successful and help you achieve, what you want out of this. And so that's okay. And a lot of times that's helped a lot of my teammates, when they go back, when they, didn't involve it, didn't get into the trainings, they weren't trainable, they weren't coachable, they weren't anything. But then they realized that, hey, they're not having any duplication, they're losing team members or whatever. And a lot of times it's because exactly what Brenda's training, it stopped at signing them up. That's where it ended. And
Yeah.
there's way more to the success and way more to this business and way more to your responsibility as a sponsor than signing them up. And so don't be afraid to circle back. You know,
Yeah. And I tell my members, you're going to ask me 6 questions, 10 questions a day. I get it. But if you don't ask, you don't know. So please ask away, hammer me, bother me. You don't know what you don't know, and it's kind of a learning thing. So this is how you learn, and it helps me coach them. It helps. And even doing these Sock and Souls, I get to coach new associates through the process and different questions answering or different things people are in, and they learn. And yeah, it's true. Vulnerability is. I know COVID, I kind of went for a bit, and these Sock and Souls are just like got me ripped up, and my associates are helping me go forward and pumping me up too to help them, and it's driving me forward too, and it keeps me going.
yeah,
So
absolutely incredible training, Brent. How many people like Brent's training? Everybody
I
love that?
hope it helped.
Isn't that
um
awesome?
yeah,
I'll have the recording up very, very quickly. Thank you so much, Brent, on behalf of the field. Awesome, awesome training, and so grateful for your effort tonight. And you're an inspiration to all of us. And I can't wait for COVID to end so I can challenge you to get 400 in a room, and we'll fly out there again, God willing. But brilliant training. You're a tremendous leader, and our next, what I want to remind everybody is tomorrow there's a call at 2 p.m. Hosted by Stuart Hallcroft from the UK. If you know anybody that's had success with either Nordic walking wearing our technology or just improvement in walking with our technology, please jump on the call. It's listed in the announcements tab on the Team Vaccination page. That's 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, which is 7 p.m. UK time. Then again, on Wednesday, we have a great call that is about kids. Let me just see here. It is
that one looks exciting too.
What's that, Bryn?
That one looks really exciting.
Yeah, so
I
that
saw the
one,
two of them, but yeah.
yeah, that one is at 2 p.m. I believe. It used to be at 3:30, and they've changed the time a bit. Yeah, so this is on Wednesday at 7 p.m. UK time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. And this you can invite people to, the call tomorrow at 2 p.m. and the call on Wednesday. Please invite prospects to. If somebody can jump on for 15, 20 minutes, get your friends on there, get family members on there, get prospects on there. But at 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern, this is this is for kids, a kids special of wearable neurotech. So these are kids experiences on our technology. And this is going to be hosted by our UK friends, Nikki Cheatham and Joe Crouchman and so on. They're a great bunch of people. The UK, our UK teammates. So if you can get on that call either tomorrow at 2 p.m. and Wednesday at 2 p.m., please bring as many people as you can onto that call. Send them the link. It's in the announcements tab on the Team Vaccination page. And then next Monday, mark this in your calendars, the Ask the Doc call. Our second Ask the Doc call with Dr. Mark DeBrinket, 2 p.m. next Monday, which is December 7th, I believe. No, 5th, 6th, 7th. Yeah, December 7th, I believe, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And I will set up the link. It will be in the announcements tab as well, posted in our team page as well in the announcements tab. So that's 2 p.m. next Monday. And then again, 8:30 next Monday, December 7th, will be the Real People, Real Results call as well for our team. Now, the Ask the Doc call, it's going to be the last one this year. So if you have any questions, Angela Corns did a post. You can send a question to Angela Corns at brainforbalance.com and email her and put your question in. We will take questions if we have time on the chat on the Ask the Doc call, but it's scheduled. I spoke to him today. He's all ready to rock and roll. We had such great participation in that call, and people find, as we all do, Dr. Mark has an amazing way of helping us all understand and present our technology in the best way possible. So
Can I just suggest one more book?
Sure, absolutely.
It's one, okay, Big Al, and it's called What Smart Sponsors Do. And the reason I like, it's just over 100 pages, it's a really quick read, but it delves you into all the different types of people you're working with and how you're going to work with them. It's just quick, brief, easy, and just, it's called What Smart Sponsors Do. And I love it. It's just awesome too.
What, I can type it in here. What
Smart Sponsors Do.
And that's by Big Al.
Big Al, Tom Schreider, yeah. Keith and Tom Schreider, yeah.
I think I've got it now. What's smart?
Thanks, Terry. That one's a really easy, simple, quick read, and it will set things for you and
yeah, and
stuff.
you know what? The other book too, Richard Bliss Brook is an easy read too, because I remember when you gifted that to me in Vegas, and I read the whole book on the plane on the way home. I came off that plane from Vegas, and I was ready to torch the place, man. I was ready to go. And
it's awesome.
And I felt like I just, signed up for a new university program.
And if your husband's a non-believer, get him to read that book, and he'll support you in this business. Trust me.
That's a great.
You'll mind shift your husband.
Husbands or wives, either or, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, or wives, whoever's not on board. Yeah.
Anyways, want to thank you again, Brenna. Thank everybody that was on the call tonight. We appreciate your time. Appreciate you being on here. We're getting close to Christmas, so it's actually not that far away. So again, the Ask the Doc call is very key. I appreciate everybody being on the call. Thank you again. Unmute yourself, say goodnight, and until the next call when we see you on here, I bid you all a good evening. Thank you.
Good night.
Hey, guys.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I had a great call tonight.
Thank
Hi.
you.
Awesome.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
That was awesome. That was excellent.
Good.